What is up? Welcome back to the Anti-Racing YouTube channel. Sorry, I sound a little raspy. I'm losing my voice. Happens. I think it happened from all the paint and body filler from the S197 spray paint video. But we're back in the booth today, and we are going to be testing and installing some BC coilovers on the front of our 2-valve giveaway car. So this is what we're going to be testing and installing. So these are SN95 coilovers that we'll be installing to our giveaway car, but they have one slight difference that we have never tested before. They have caster camber plates. This is how you'll see them out of the box. We've already started working on this one, getting it ready for installation. This bracket has to be installed first, and this upper mount has to come off in order for it to be installed. So we're doing a little bit of a double duty here. We're going to be testing these caster camber plates and installing BC coilovers to the front of our giveaway car. So we're just kind of goofing around before installing these coilovers, or Alex is goofing around, as I should say, because nobody came here to fix vacuum lines, but he found something. Tell him what you found.
I found a broken vacuum line, so that needs to be replaced.
You didn't say it like you said it the first time.
Oh, it broken.
Alright guys, so we're checking this thing out, and we're going to be removing some stuff in order to make this a little easier for us. So we got to get this spring out. As you guys know, the SN95 comes with separate spring and shock front. It also has these ABS brackets with this secondary nut. So what we're going to do is pull these ABS brackets out, take that nut off, and then we're going to disconnect the ABS line all the way here. So we're gonna pull that out, and then this is getting removed completely for us because we don't need that where we're going. We're gonna pull this brake caliper off to where we don't have to have any slack in this line, and remove both of these hard line brake line bolts to droop it, so that we can get enough downward travel in order to get that spring out, because that's going to take a lot. And then we're going to get just the top portion of our sway bar in link unbolted, so that it's not connected to the lower control arm anymore, and we can move that out of the way, pull this lower control arm down enough to get our spring out, so that we can convert to a true coilover in the front. So as you guys can see, that was a little bit of a battle to get the ABS sensors off. Had to get this 24mm nut off that we threw in the bolt bin over there. reverse Torx bit. What size is that reverse Torx you got?
An EP8.
EP8 reverse Torx bit for the ABS sensor. It's gone. We deleted it from here. We deleted it from its plug. We don't need that where we're going, but maybe some of you do. I doubt if you need caster camber plates that you need wheel speed sensors, because those are irrelevant in all the applications that we do. Alex is working on the passenger side, getting those off.
It's not a fun battle.
Yeah, it's definitely an uphill battle. They're a pain in the ass to get off, especially on an older car that's been spray painted everywhere, and there's a bunch of stuff. But yeah, this has to come off. Pull these guys out of here. That is an open end bracket, and then it gets disconnected. This one looks like it's routed differently. Yeah, so all right, so we got our ABS sensors removed. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our calipers off, and we're gonna take ours off from the main bracket. We're not gonna take these guide pin bolts out. We're gonna take it off the main bracket and then just pull the whole thing, zip tie it to this nice little channel that we have right here. Wrap a zip tie around there and zip tie it up to there, and it'll be out of the way. Probably don't have to do that, but it's much easier, especially working with stock suspension, just to get this thing out of the way so you can have as much room as you need to work. So we got our brake caliper off. We removed 15mm bolts that hold the caliper bracket in, and we got it zip tied up to the chassis there, so it's out of our way. And next we're gonna remove this sway bar end link, just the top, so that our control arm has maximum droop down, so that we can get our strut out of the way. All right, so obviously, in order to move this sway bar, we have to have both sides disconnected or it won't work. But we have this disconnected. This is gonna come up, and now your sway bar is released. So that's gonna allow us to get enough droop on the control arm to get that spring out. Me and Alex were just talking, spitballing, and we think that, well, Alex thinks that this outer tie rod's gonna have to come off for us to get enough droop to get the spring out. I don't think we do, so let's see what we got, because we're almost ready to undo. It's a 24 on this side. I believe it's a 18 or 19 on this side. So the next thing we're gonna do is loosen these up, see how much droop we can get out of it, see if we can get this spring out, because we don't need that where we're going. Update, the bolt heads are 21. So it's 21 and 24 is what you'll be using to get these guys disconnected.
Your maraca, sir.
Oh, thank you. All right, so as you guys see, we got the knuckle bolts loose. We got some articulation here. And Alex has got his what now?
Le motivator.
Okay, let's see. So we're gonna, oh, easy. Zero motivation. Grab that for me, Chief. We don't need those where we're going. So that's gone. Get that out of here.
My shoes and I can jump around.
Jump around. Jump around. All right, so yeah, this is off. Then the only thing we have left to do is get these top guys off, and the old strut and spring setup is out. We actually took our sway bar out because we know that we're not going to be able to use that where we're going. we're putting an angle kit on this car, so it's not going to work. We're actually going to end up replacing this lower control arm and a bunch of other stuff down here. But we're not going to do that for now, but we figured instead of reconnecting that sway bar, we'll just get it out of the way now. If you need assistance on reconnecting your sway bar, coilovers probably aren't right for you. So I'm just going to say that now. But yeah, both sides are out. Sway bar's on the ground. Both springs are out. And we are almost ready to remove this strut. There is a little bit of modification required to remove this strut because for whatever reason, they're riveted to the top up there. We're gonna drop this thing down. Don't ever spray paint like this, please. This is terrible. We're gonna drop this thing down, get this strut out, and get our new BC coilovers attached. Like I said, we're about to pull these plates off so that we can get this junky, clunky OEM half red, half black painted strut out of this unit.
It's two-tone.
It's two-tone?
Two-tone. It's fancy.
Kind of like your glasses. They're two-tone.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh. Never noticed.
I told you guys earlier, we already started working on one of these. This one says L. It's pretty self-explanatory that that's for the left. Now, if you're in America, the left side of the vehicle is always the driver's side. Left-hand drive. Okay? So, how this is going to work is these are the bolts for the actual plate. These are going to come off. These are the nuts to mount the plate to the car. So how this works, you take all these nuts off. And then this can pretty much only go one way. So as you can see here, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I think that's money, dude. So we're gonna come from underneath. Slide that in there like that. Yep, Alex has already got a head start on the game. And try and put these as center as I possibly can in the OEM adjustment, because you can obviously see that these holes are slotted. But really, it doesn't matter because there's so much adjustment in the caster camber plate that you can pretty much find any alignment spec that you need with those. So that's how the plate goes on. All right, so how we're gonna do this, best way that I've determined, is we're gonna take this 5mm Allen key and I'm gonna remove these camber plate bolts that go to the camber bearing housing. Show them down there. Yeah, I'm gonna remove these. So I'm gonna remove those so that it doesn't reset our preload. As you can see, our camber bearing housing is still mounted. Our spring is still preloaded. For you guys that struggle with preload. And then what I'm gonna do, take this plate, and as opposed to traditional BC camber plates, usually this would be the camber adjustment, but that's not how these work because of how they're built. So this slides right over here like this. This does your camber. We got a little bit of stuff in the way here. That's your camber. And then the traditional strut will be the caster. Obviously the Allen bolts that hold the plate to the coilover or the camber bearing housing were removed. So what we did was we stuck the strut up through the bottom and then put these bolts in, which is what holds the plate to the camber bearing housing, which also holds the strut in. And it's on a mono ball, so it can move freely like that. So, tighten these down first. Put your plate on. Stuff the camber bearing housing, top nut, and the rest of the strut through it. And then put these 5mm Allen bolts in here to make everything one piece again. So that's how the left side looks. These are kind of tight. We got them in the center of adjustment for testing purposes right now. Alex has got his all situated over here on the right side. Passenger. So yeah, that's how these go in. And those are the new caster camber plates for this guy. So what we're gonna do next, get our knuckle back onto our coilover so that we can finish wrapping up the install of these coilovers. Pick this up. Just like that. So we got the Freshie BC Racing coilovers in the front of the giveaway car with the new caster camber design. It's monster trucking right now, but with any angle kit, this would be perfect. If you don't have an angle kit or you don't have a track dedicated vehicle, these caster camber plates aren't necessary for you. Just in my, I would say, professional opinion. There is no reason that you need to have this much camber or this much caster on your daily vehicle. So keep that in mind, but this ride height would be perfect with, say, scotidi. I don't know if Duncan has a roll center correction or FDF for these cars. FDF definitely has a roll center correction. scotidi definitely has a roll center correction, but we're a little bit monster truck right now. We are on 12 kg springs, so that's making a difference. But here's what the new plates look like. They look fantastic. They work really well. And yeah, the 2-valve giveaway has new front BC coilovers coming soon. We also have on hand right now, we have scotidi front and rear bash bars, scotidi dual caliper and hydro setup, and scotidi quick angle kit for this thing to install. We're not going to do that tonight. We just wanted to put the front coilovers on here, test them for work, and make sure those were good. I'm pretty sure we have enough data on those to roll those out to the general public. So you guys can, USN95 guys can get those, I'm going to guess probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. They'll be ready to go. I don't see a problem with them, but ultimately that's not my decision. I just do the testing, so we'll see about that. Got anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, so as Davey mentioned, we are on 12 kg springs on the front of this car. I don't really recommend it, and I feel like Davey doesn't really recommend it on like a street car that retains the factory sway bar.
That's right.
The only reason we went 12K on this is because the sway bar no longer works with the angle kit that we're putting on this car, so we have to up it to kind of fix that body roll in the front.
So if someone was using a sway bar or even a bigger sway bar in the front, what would, like for an autocross setup, what would you recommend?
As far as spring rates?
Yes.
If you're running an upgraded sway bar, I'd honestly say probably like 10K.
That's a good spring rate.
8 and 10.
Yeah, about a 10 is a good spring rate for, that'd be like for a dedicated autocross car. Like if it's something you take to the track 3 times a year, then and drive it mostly on the street, then probably like an 8 kg setup. That's the most aggressive you want to go. But 10K for like a fully dedicated autocross setup would be good. Using the sway bar, of course. And obviously it depends on whether your new Edge engine is a 4-valve, 2-valve, or any other swap. There's so many things that go into spring rates. But since we're not using a sway bar, we're going to be changing the motion ratio because we're getting longer arms for this, which pushes it out further. So 12K is the sweet spot for these cars.
Or you could be real stiff like me and go 14.
Are you on 14? I thought you were on
I'm
12.
pretty sure I'm on 14s.
I think you're on 12, but you guys can see who's right in the next video that we do on his car. But I'm pretty sure I'm right, just like I was about the tie rod ends. I wasn't going to mention it, but now that we're here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You guys will have a chance to win this 2-valve soon. We're working on it, but small channel, small budget. So we'll get there.
We'll definitely
Till
get
next
there.
time.